Midweek time. We made it to Wednesday. Look at this clock behind me. It's a fancy looking clock right there. Mets are on in 10 minutes. 10 minutes for my New York Mets. That Impractical Joker's on right now. Let's see what other sports are on tonight.
Well done, guys. Well, there we go. Let's go swimming, boys.
Okay.
Warning, the following program contains scenes of graphic stupidity among four lifelong friends who compete to embarrass each
Started
other.
a little bit early tonight.
Got Joe sleeping on the job.
Oh, the Nets are on right now.
4-21 lead over Toronto.
The Nets are playing Toronto. The Yankees are on right now. Let's see what they're doing. 0-0. 0-0. Two more people got shot, Survival. I understand one of them. I don't have the information on the other shooting in North Carolina today. But they're like, oh, the girl that got shot. Let's go to that one first. The girl that got shot in Ohio. Okay. Somebody called the police and said there's a bunch of grown women here trying to stab us or whatever. Police show up. They're trying to break it up. There's grown adult men all around just watching and filming. Keep in mind, while this one girl is getting her ass whooped. But, they all got to get their phones out to World Star it. The cop shows up and says, get down, get down. Get down now. The one girl gets down. She lays down on her back. She gets down. You see her hands. Some guy comes over and punts her in the face. More on that later. The other girl, the cop says, get down now, get down, get down. She takes the knife in this hand and goes to stab the other girl in the jugular. We're surprised that this girl got shot, America? No. It doesn't matter if you're 10, 20, 30, or 100 years old. If you go to stab someone in the jugular while the police are there, the police are going to intervene the best way possible. The girl got shot. She did that to herself. I've been on other sides of it all. I've been on George Floyd's side. I'm still on Dante Wright's side. I've been on Ahmaud Arbery's side. Not this time. Not this time. That cop, you're correct, Survival. That cop is a hero for saving the other girl. Because had that cop not intervened, that knife was going right to the jugular. And the hardest part of the body, when it's ripped open, the hardest part to stop bleeding is the jugular. That's why in the wilderness, lions, tigers, cheetahs, the first thing they do to their prey is they go for the kill shot, the carotid artery. And that's where, unfortunately, this young lady thought it would be a good idea to take a sharpened steak knife and go to stab another girl in this general region, which could be instant death. So she got shot. That's on her. The cop said, get down, get down. Why would you pull out a knife? You see your opponent is done. Your opponent's surrendering. You backed your opponent up against the car. She's trying to get away from you, defend. The opponent's no longer a threat to you. I'm sorry if she got a couple licks on you, but the cops are there now. You don't get to go and stab somebody in the throat or cut their throat because the cops are there. The cops are there to take control of the scene. This is not a George Floyd incident. This is not a Ahmaud Arbery incident. This is not a Dante Wright incident. This is a black girl trying to kill another black girl. So a police officer intervened. What are you doing?
Just wanted to see what you were watching.
I'm talking. What's up, Shay? This is completely justifiable. The cop should not lose his job. And you know what? There were grown men everywhere. There were grown adults all over while these girls are beating the shit out of each other. One even had time to punt the other girl in the face while she was surrendering. Please. Please. The police officers get the benefit of the doubt on this one. They did what they had to do to save a life. It's unfortunate that the young lady was, 15, 16 years old. The cops were there. There was no need for you to step in. I think what LeBron did was unacceptable too. As a Lakers fan, man, I try to separate it as that there's two LeBrons. There's a LeBron that cries foul on every little thing because politically he's a little bitch. As a man, he's a little bitch. That's just what it is. He's a bitch. On the basketball court, he's the greatest player of today. He's phenomenal. But off the court, he's a little bitch. LeBron has to get off of his little fucking soapbox, okay? LeBron doesn't live in the black community, first of all. LeBron lives in all white gated communities. His neighbors are practically my grandparents' friends. They're a bunch of retirees. LeBron doesn't get to fucking say shit anymore. LeBron has a net worth of God knows how much. LeBron has been given every opportunity. He's an actor now. He's the face of an NBA. LeBron could never say he's suppressed because he's black. LeBron is suppressed because off the basketball court, he's a fucking idiot. So I heard LeBron said some stupid shit. I try not to pay attention to LeBron on Twitter or social media. If I see him doing interviews on Sports Center, I change the channel because I already know what he's going to say. And I do respect him as somebody's father, and I do respect him as a player who plays for my favorite basketball team and one of the greatest players that I've ever seen. But LeBron should stay out of politics, especially because he doesn't even live in the black community. LeBron lives in all white communities. So everybody wants to be an armchair Monday morning police officer. When you're in that situation, I want to see what everybody else. LeBron said the cop was involved in Columbus was next. Oh, God. Didn't he deleted all that, though. Didn't he get in trouble and he deleted all that? The cop that was involved in Columbus was next. You know how stupid that is? The cop that was involved in London saved another black woman's life. You get hit in that jugular. You get hit in that jugular, and it's almost a death sentence. You have minutes, if not seconds, to get to a hospital and have one of the best surgeons start to sew you up. This will be stay here until you end. Thank you, Alda. I don't want this cookie anymore. I just came to go. Cool peanut butter. A little teacup action. Thank you, Alda. The police are there when these girls are fighting. Her opponents stopped fighting. One got to the ground and surrendered, and a dude came up and punted her in the head. The other girl was like this up against the car, trying not to, and she even put her foot out, trying not to get stabbed by a steak knife in this general region. I don't want to hear shit from Black Lives Matter. I don't want to hear shit from any activist. I don't want to hear shit from anyone. That cop was trying to save a black girl from another black girl killing her. That black girl could have just dropped the knife and have been done with it. No. It's always the white cop's fault, even when it's not. I said it was Derek Chauvin's fault. He got what he deserved. I said it was Miller, whatever the fuck, Pam, whatever her name is, that killed the Wrights. The guy that killed that kid Wright, it was her fault. The two KKK members who killed Ahmaud Arbery, it was their fault. And there's a list that goes on, but not this time. Not this time. I was telling Courtney today too. If Courtney's getting beat up by a bunch of girls, and one of the girls is gonna take a knife, and that girl's about to stab Courtney in her throat, and I got my gat and I'm loaded, I'm putting 2 in your skull. I'm putting 2 in your skull to save someone who's very special to me. So. I don't know what happened in North Carolina. The police had a no-knock warrant or something. They kicked in the door. They shot the dude 7 to 9 times. The dude did not have a gun. It's already been specified that he didn't have a gun. We don't know if he had any other weapon. I don't know what the situation is. He had a warrant out for his arrest. I mean, look, if you don't want to get your door kicked in by the police officers, don't have a warrant out for your arrest. Go to your court date. I'm not saying this black man deserved to die. I'm not saying that at all. So don't get my words twisted. But look, if you don't want cops coming and kicking in your door, don't have a warrant. Don't break the law. And if you have a warrant, make sure you go to court and you don't miss your court date. I don't know why they shot him that many times, especially when they've already said he did not have a gun. I'm waiting for the rest of the information to come out so then I could be the judge of that. But as far as Ohio and bitch-ass LeBron James, so Bible, it gets to the point where, like, no matter what you do, if you're a white cop, you're the bad guy. You're a racist just because of the color of your skin. And anybody who's not white who thinks that, if you think all white cops are racist and they're not, that in turn makes you a racist. If you walk down the street and you say, okay, every white guy who looks like Travis with blonde hair and blue eyes, they're all racist. And when those people are not racist, such as myself, that makes you a racist for assuming that I'm racist. You don't want to get shot by the cops? Don't attempt to shank somebody in their Adam's apple or their throat or their carotid artery. Yeah, I don't even follow the woke. I don't follow the wokeness. I don't follow the whole abolish the police. I don't follow any of that because that's all just, stupid. You need police. And if the cop wasn't there, there'd still be a dead black girl. That girl had that other girl dead to rights. She couldn't run. She was backed up against the car. She's trying to dodge the knife coming out her throat. I saw the video 3 times. So she's coming up with the knife. What do you guys think that she's gonna do? She's giving her an invitation to come over and have tea and crumpets on the weekend. She's coming up with a knife, a sharpened steak knife, to go like that to the kill zone, right here. You know who needs to be next? LeBron needs to be next. LeBron needs to be banned from Twitter. Stick to basketball because he's phenomenal at basketball. He's an on-court general, and he's a joy to watch. And I'm glad he plays for my team, but he's got to stay off Twitter. LeBron doesn't get to be on his high horse. LeBron is not suppressed. He gets millions of dollars to be in my favorite movie, Space Jam sequel, okay? He gets endorsements. He gets special treatment. He's been the face of the NBA for how many seasons? LeBron doesn't get to say shit about not having a fair and equal opportunity. LeBron doesn't even live in the black neighborhood. I live in a black neighborhood. LeBron doesn't. And I'm white. The cop in Columbus is next. No, LeBron's next to be banned from Twitter for inciting stupid shit. And anybody that thinks I wouldn't say LeBron's face that he's a little bitch doesn't know the story about me and Jerry Seinfeld and Adam Sandler and Kevin James, because I've told them to their faces I thought they were shitty people. So
because the company hasn't spoken out against
now they're saying because Home Depot hasn't spoken out against the voting in Georgia, maybe Home Depot just doesn't want to get involved. Maybe Home Depot just wants to be a normal family business. Maybe they don't agree with any of it, but they just don't want to get involved. Maybe they want to stick to selling home improvement stuff, which is what all these businesses should do. Just stick to your own business. Whether you agree with Georgia or not. I don't fucking agree with them changing the Georgia voting thing, but I'm not gonna fucking put my ass on the line for it if I own a company. I got to make money in America too, man. We're in the middle of a pandemic. So maybe Home Depot just doesn't want to fucking get involved. Adam Sandler is a clown, bro. My cousin, one of my close family friend, was in the movie Little Nicky with him. He's a clown. Nobody can deny LeBron's athletic. His Twitter stuff is idiotic. Yeah, it's beyond idiotic. It is beyond idiotic. She muted herself, the fucking stupid ass.
Not just me. Sorry, give me a second.
Georgia faith leaders urge Home Depot boycott over voting law. Atlanta-based company has not spoken out on restrictions. Maybe they just don't want to get involved. Because you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. If you don't, you're a racist. If you do, you hate white people and you hate cops. So you don't, or you hate Republicans. And if you do, you hate Republicans. If you don't, you hate Democrats. Maybe they're just staying out of it because they're a Georgia-based company. Maybe they're just staying out of it. Maybe they don't want a say in it either way. Whether they agree with the voting laws or not. I don't agree with them. But if I own a business, I'm not going to come out and put my business on the line for that. I'm going to stay out of it. I only get involved in politics when there's a sense of my criminal justice credits get involved, and I could, put my 2 cents in with that. Or if it's really egregious and stupid, then I give my opinion. Otherwise, I don't give a shit either way. I think either party screws you. Whether you're a Democratic or a Republican or an independent, dude, they all lie. Everybody on every side lies. Some more than the other. Oh, Home Depot didn't say anything. Yeah, because Home Depot is smart. They're smart. They don't want to get involved. They don't want to jeopardize their business. There's pages and pages and pages and pages of companies that already boycotted. Is that not enough? There's hundreds of companies that boycotted the thing. They took the MLB game out of Georgia. What do you want, the whole world just to stop for you? You're one state. There's 49 other states that have shit going on in them. Listen, bro, I go to Home Depot at least once a month, and I love Home Depot. And if they don't want to get involved in this politic shit, I don't blame them. I like Home Depot. I get a lot of great shit from Home Depot. I get a lot of great tools years ago from Home Depot that are in still great condition. If they don't want to get involved, they don't have to. And I'm not saying that it's not, I want to specify, I'm not saying that it's not tragic that young lady got shot, because that is sad, that somebody's child, she was only 16, that is very tragic. But had she put the knife down and stopped, like her opponent did, she wouldn't have gotten shot 4 times. Do I think she should have been shot 4 times? No. Do I think she should have been shot? You're attempting to kill somebody. And they don't even know if that cop had a taser, because people forget you have to go through a series of classes and testing to become taser certified. You could be on the force before you're taser certified. So we don't even know if he had a taser yet. And he was thinking in like, oh my God, this girl's about to get stabbed in her jugular. I have to do something right now. I gave verbal commands to stop. When an officer tells you to stop, stop. Regardless of who you are, regardless of what your gender or your religion is, just stop. Now, I don't know what happened with the North Carolina guy. I'm waiting for that to come out, and I'll decide whether or not what do I think it was. Was it warranted or not? Oh, so he did have a taser, but he also only had a quick second to think. And once he saw the knife, it's a life-threatening weapon. I'll give my 2 cents when I know what happened in North Carolina with the warrant. But, dude, if you got a warrant If you got a warrant, exactly, survival, exactly. They're not as accurate, and they're not quick. They're not as quick as a gun. What's up, Marlon? If you have a warrant out for your arrest, that means you didn't go to a court date because you committed a crime. Don't commit a crime, you won't get a warrant. If you have a warrant, you missed your court date. So don't miss your court dates, and cops won't kick in the front door to your house. Go to your court date. You know, if you're out on bond and someone put their name on a bail bondsman for you, and you don't go to your court date, the cops are going to come and get you. They have to come and get you. Now, I don't know why they shot him 7 to 9 times, especially when it's already been specified he didn't have a gun. He must have had another weapon or something, but I'm just guessing right now till I have more information. But I could say, no, George Floyd should have not died that way. I'm happy with the sentence for Derek Chauvin. I'm hoping there's going to be a good sentence for Dante Wright's killer. I hope it's going to be something decent. The same with Ahmaud Arbery's killer. And the same with the list of people that have been killed that shouldn't have been killed. But, you know. What's up, Shella? Shella Lee. The problem right now with our country, right now, survival, is that we take criminals, we take people that are out breaking the law, and we put them up here. The people that enforce the law and keep us safe, they're down here, especially with the millennials. They're down here. I'm not saying there haven't been racist cops. I'm not saying that, you know, certain cops shouldn't be in jail because they should be. I agree with the Minneapolis probe that they're doing. They're going to probe. They're going to go through everything. They're going to see if Minneapolis police cooked the books. They're going to see if people lied about arrest or people are false imprisoned. I'm all for that, man. That police unit, man, they have a lot of things to answer for, and they have a lot of things they need to fix. Sure, Shella. You know when these things don't happen, though? If you don't break the law. That's when these things don't happen. If you don't break the law. If you're not in the midst of committing a crime. If you're not fighting with police. If you're not acting a fool. Go to Officer Tatum on YouTube. He talked about all this stuff today. And he's black, by the way. And he's a former police officer. So, it's very tragic that the young lady passed away. I'm not saying that it's not. But somewhere down the line in this country, because of a few bad police officers, now we say all police officers are bad and need to be abolished. And that's not going to cut it, man. Because there are good cops out there. My cousin is one of them. So. Because there are good cops out there. You could drop your link if you want, Shella. You could drop your house, Shella. All right, let me take a break from CNN before I blow a gasket, survival, and switch over and see how my New York Mets are doing tonight. All right, they're already up 1-0. Looks like they're going in a commercial break. Yeah, if you say weird things, Peanut Butter, they delete it. I have a big day with Courtney on Saturday. It's our second dinner date since we met. So we're going there, and then we're going to see the new Mortal Kombat movie. I already ordered the tickets ahead of time. I got the same theater and the same seats we always sit in when we see a movie. Smart. I'm a good dude. I take care of my lady. I'm smart. Survival just done to you. I wonder what would have happened if the cop didn't shoot and that other girl just stabbed the other girl. Then they would say, and when I say they, I mean the left, not a specific genre of people, just the people that hate cops. They would say, oh, why didn't the cop shoot to kill? So you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Yeah, they do that, Survival. I don't know why. I'm hoping I could get more facts by tomorrow about this shooting in North Carolina. They came with an arrest warrant and shot the dude 7 times. The dude didn't have a gun, so we have to see. I don't think there's going to be anything warranted. I think it's going to be another case of me saying, man, the cops fucked up. But not this one in North Carolina, not this one in Columbus, Ohio. Because the cops didn't fuck up with that one. Jacob deGrom next start Friday. No problem, Sheila. Still 1-0, Mets. Survival, are you going live tonight at 9? If you drop your link too many times, it gets deleted. Don't drop it too many times and it won't get deleted. What are Google mods? I'm seeing everything you guys are.
The use of force spiked late last year, and black people are still subject to the use of force by Minneapolis officers at a highly disproportionate rate. The analysis found between 2008 and May 25th.
I don't know what Google mods are. I've never had a problem with Google mods.
6% police use force on for black. Since Floyd's death, 62.6% were black. In a city that's 19% black, according to U.S. Census records. That comes as
Oh, nice. I don't know why they're deleting your links. It sounds like they need to find something better to do.
There's 100 bodies behind that high profile case.
There are a few other cases that have made national headlines here. In 2015, NPD officers fatally shot 24-year-old Jamar Clark in the head while he was handcuffed. In 2018, Thurman Blevins was killed by police during a foot chase as he begged, "Please don't shoot me, leave me alone." Allen and McClellan say their issue with this kind of
Before Floyd's death, 65% of people who Minneapolis police used force on were black. After Floyd's death, 63%. That's a problem. That's a problem. That for sure. That's a problem. Like I said, I agree with the probe that they're doing with Minneapolis police because it sounds like they got an issue there. I agree with the probe. I'm glad that they're probing them because there's something fishy going on there.
So Sarah, obviously there's the federal investigation, but I understand that's not the only one right now into the police department?
Federal investigation and what?
The new civil federal investigation.
There's a civil federal investigation as well.
Criminal investigation into the death of George Floyd at the hands of a Minneapolis police officer.
So there is a civil investigation.
Now,
Attention, this is your evening reminder that Travis is gay. Thank you.
All right, Sarah.
That is all.
Thank
Bill,
you.
you're a funny guy. It's good to have you in here, Bill.
Thanks very much.
You haven't been here in a minute.
Of course, you can always watch out for it anytime.
You haven't been here in like a week, Bill.
To CNN Go. In the meantime, Anderson and AC 360 begin right now.
No, I'm not actually gay, Shella.
Good evening. We begin tonight with a picture that to many will look like justice. Former Minneapolis police officer
Chauvin will await sentencing as policing story broader. Policing story broader. Yeah, so apparently Chauvin had over 20 complaints against him. Use of force complaints. People saying they were assaulted by him. And it wasn't anything recently documented. This is like some of his stuff was from, 10 years ago, 7 years ago, that people were filing complaints against him using unnecessary force. So that's interesting, man. And he had actually been disciplined for one of those incidences out of the 23 that were filed against him several years ago. So it's very interesting to me, man. That's very interesting to me that's coming up. Yeah, I know, Travis. Yeah, I'm here with you.
That so-called pattern and practice investigation will look at some of the same
I know, Sheila.
today.
I need water.
Police in Minneapolis use force against black people at a highly disproportionate rate. In addition to everything that's connected to the George Floyd killing, there's the investigation into the fatal shooting of Dante Wright just outside the city. His funeral is tomorrow. Right now, tension is rising in the wake of the fatal police shooting in Columbus, Ohio, the teenage girl. It happened within minutes of the show's verdict. We should be clear up on every incident.
My allergies are killing me tonight, y'all. Yeah, that's right. Devontae Wright's funeral is tomorrow.
The final determination on it is clearly a family tragedy and is for the moment on the larger sweep of events. Next week, negotiations now underway with federal legislation.
Oh, my allergies are killing me.
In addition, there's backlash building primarily in red states with state legislatures passing laws cracking down on protesters, and in one state even absolving drivers who hit them. So there's lots of coverage. Just ahead from the Wall Street filmmakers on this moment where states with Dr. King carried long arms in the world.
Same here, Shella.
Now, in her first interview since her children was convicted of Floyd's sister, Bridget, thank you for being with us. It has been a little more.
George Floyd's sister speaks out for the first time since the guilty verdict.
Thank you for having me. I'm holding up a little better than I was. A little peace and just a little bit of joy. We had a guilty verdict, but the thought that's in the back of my mind is really how much time will they give this officer?
About that, obviously prosecutors have asked for aggravated or have argued that there were.
Yeah, they're talking about how they're still worried about what the charge is, like the amount of years Chauvin will get behind bars, and how there should be more charges for child endangerment since there were children close by.
Justice would be for Garrett to get the max sentence of each charge. That's justice for me.
Yeah, we have to see what happens with this probe into Minneapolis.
Did you yesterday morning think that he would be found guilty in all three counts?
You know, I believe in the man of love very, very strongly. And I gave it to him and I tried to let it go. The reason why I say that is because I still worry a little bit about what would happen because this is very, very rare. This has not happened
His sister's got a point.
in a long time.
When a cop kills a black man, you never really see the cop go to jail.
I was just on the edge.
At least in these incidences.
Do you believe this is the beginning of further change?
Survival, come up and say hi real quick, bro. I'm probably gonna end in an hour or like 45 minutes. I'm not gonna go long tonight.
On board. Yes.
You could come up if you want to say hi, Survival. If not, it's okay.
This kind of grief, tragically, who will experience it in the future, no matter what happens in days and months and years ahead. You know, sometimes people talk about closure, and I always think that's a word that kind of has just made it like a TV word. It doesn't really, if somebody's lost somebody, that pain never goes away. It never closes up. And scar may scar over, a wound may scar over, but it never fully heals. What would your message be to other people going through or scared about their loved one needing the baby at George Floyd?
To the families.
No, here it is, Survival. Here it is.
That are going through this.
Here it is, bro.
Um,
My allergies are killing me tonight, man.
And much, much more. The best thing that's ever happened. That's why you can't watch. Watch it free. Free for more.
Dear Freedom, being parked inside has many wanting to ride unleashed. We say let's go. Faster and further. Leading the pack. Stepping with power. With the confidence that tomorrow's road will be better.
What's up?
I think LeBron James should never be involved in politics ever again. I think
Yeah.
I think Twitter should ban him. They banned all the Republicans and Trump for saying
No, they don't ban. They don't really ban the progressive left on there. It's kind of their site.
It's crazy, man.
It is crazy, dude. I don't.
Why does he get away with saying some crazy shit, but someone else does something and they're fucking blocked and
I don't know.
social media jail?
It's the leftist agenda. That's what they get away with. Whatever they want. They built the platform, so they get to have it.
Yeah. They said that the cop was a federal officer that shot the girl. I don't know what that means. I should know that as a criminal justice major, but they said federal police officer shot the 16-year-old.
Yeah, it's weird. It was a Fed. I'm surprised they would send a Fed officer over there. I didn't hear that, but yeah, that's weird. Just looking at the chat. Hi, Shella. I see you there.
There were so many grown ass men around the perimeter filming these girls.
See, I didn't see the whole video. I never got to see the whole video. I saw like just the shooting part. So
there was grown ass adults everywhere. Why were they letting these girls beat the shit out of each other in an attempt to stab one another? Why weren't they breaking it up?
Good question. I don't know.
Why won't they tell them to drop the knife?
I don't know, man. Dude, look how sunny it is over here. It's freaking just a spring day out here. Just all sun. All sun.
I always thought it rained every day by Seattle.
Yeah, that's our secret. No, it rains like 9 or 10 months out of the year. Spring and summer hit. I mean, it's gonna rain for a week here in a minute.
I forgot to tell you, you and Bill would get along a lot. Bill says, "Hey,
What's
Survival,
up, Bill?
I appreciate you flying our flag."
Dude, you got it, man. All day, every day. Right there.
I'm just waiting for my DeSantis flag, and then I'm putting that out.
Oh yeah, I forgot you were gonna get a DeSantis flag.
I was telling my mom all day yesterday. I hope Ron runs for president, man.
Yeah, dude, I would probably vote for him. Do you know what I saw today? I saw that Chris Christie is going to make a serious attempt at running, and I'm like, that is laughable. Nobody's going to vote for you, Chris.
Yeah, he didn't really do a good job here, or New Jersey, so yeah. I don't.
No, it's a joke. It's going to be a waste of money for him, money and time. Nobody wants.
Isn't he really close with Trump though?
I don't know.
Like they're actually like really good friends.
I'm not sure if they are. I didn't know that, but it doesn't matter. Even if they are, nobody wants Chris Christie's fat ass up there.
I agree. I obviously you know how I feel about Ron, but
yeah,
Mike Pence, maybe. I'll think about it.
We'll see. We'll see.
I like the way Ron talks. Ron was talking the other day, so he has you cannot force your employers to have a vaccine. You don't have, or like force them to show the vaccine passport. And then he has. My mom was telling me came out with all these strict laws. He's for the First Amendment. He's for protesting. But the second you start vandalizing property or doing any of that shit, you're going right to jail.
By Shella.
You're going right to jail. And you're not getting a ticket and a quick bailout. You have to stay there till you see the judge. Because he was saying, look, I want anyone and everyone to come down to Florida this summer and have a good time. If you want to protest, fine, First Amendment right. But don't vandalize the property. Don't break the law. And if you vandalize the property during what's supposed to be a peaceful protest, you're staying in jail till you see the judge.
There it is. I mean, I can.
You don't do that in New York. New York, you're just there for an hour. They put you in the system. You get a ticket, and you're out in an hour.
Yeah, well, I'm up in Seattle, so it's the same way. It's like the same thing as Portland, the same type of thing. They've got like funds for bail for anybody that gets caught doing rioting or vandalism. They put you in for a day. They get your information. They put you right out the next day.
Yeah, our mayor was like putting some shit together, like, oh, these protesters were put in jail for no reason. Let's start a fund so we can bail them all out. In New York, people forget. New York was one of the first states that said if you're a non-violent criminal because of the pandemic, you'll get an early release. Look, I love my best friend, okay? My best friend, Joey. I love him to pieces. He's a very, very violent dude. He had a 10-year prison sentence for almost killing his girlfriend.
Ooh, wow.
He got out after serving a year and a half because of the pandemic.
Yeah, that's not really learning a lesson, I don't think.
To make a long story short, his girl at the time was a little thotty, had sex with 2 dudes at once, cheated on him. He found out, so he tried to stab her with a samurai sword and throw her in one of those water wells, you know, where you put the bucket down in the well.
Jeez, dude, that's so pretty brutal.
He got 10 years for that. He got 10 years for that, and they were like, oh, it's almost 2 years, the pandemic, we'll let you out early release.
Weird. Yeah. That's not, it doesn't seem like that would be justice or you know, consequence for the crime.
He's like family to me, but he should not be out. That's not a non-violent criminal. That's a very violent criminal.
Yeah.
He has numerous priors too. But I'm saying, like, New York was the first state to say, oh, we'll start letting people out for non-violent crimes. We'll get rid of our crime unit and our gang unit, and our crime is through the roof. I'm fortunate enough to be almost an hour away from the city, but you saw the other day there was an active shooter in West Hempstead, which is 20 minutes from me, 10 minutes from my grandparents' house.
Did they ever find that guy? Because last time
they got him. Still. So he was long story short, he was a former employee. He was fired by that guy or something. So he went there and shot him and shot a couple other people too that worked there.
Craziness. I'm going to go off camera because I'm going to go inside. I'm going to take the camera off.
That's the world we live in, bro.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
And then they say, oh, we got to take away guns.
Yeah, it's crazy people messed up.
I mean, I could understand if you're exhibiting some signs of homicidal, suicidal ideation, and you have a history of that, and you have 25 fully automatic guns in your house, I could understand that. But for like the average Joe who may work in a bad neighborhood, he wants a permit, it's registered, he wants to have his gun on his hip in a holster on safety. I don't think you should take a gun away from someone like that. I think you should have the right to protect yourself.
It's in our Bill of Rights.
Second Amendment.
Yeah.
Second Amendment. You should be in New York. It's impossible. It'd be impossible for me to, and I don't have a criminal record. It'd be impossible for me to get a pistol permit. So he beat up a woman instead of taking on the dudes like a real man. Sorry, he would not be my friend after that. Yeah, he's not really my friend anymore either. I don't really hang out with dudes that do that. I was just making a point for survival that
he definitely shouldn't have got out after a year and a half.
He shouldn't have gotten out. He should have served his full sentence because he wasn't a non-violent criminal. But they let out a couple of murderers somehow. They let out a couple of murderers.
Dude, they did the same thing up here. So Seattle, our governor is Jay Inslee. He's not much different than Cuomo. They're like the same beast, you know, the same liberal guy.
Yeah.
And he let out this serial rapist, and he ended up, and he's also an illegal immigrant. But Seattle is what do you call that? Sanctuary city.
Oh,
so you could be illegal up here. There's nothing wrong, I guess, according to these guys. But he raped a woman, like brutally raped a woman, and like I think he knew her somehow, or was knew where she worked or knew where she lived or something like that, and like he stalked her and then raped her and got caught and went to jail. They let him out for whatever reason. He went back, found the lady again, and did it again.
Jesus Christ.
And then they put him in jail, and they let him out again, and he went out, and the next time he got out, he went out and killed her. And I mean, now it's like, why is this guy even here? Why have you not deported him back to where he lives?
Bill says George Floyd was out because of COVID.
That's interesting. I didn't know that he was even in. I did not know that.
I knew he had done time in the past, but I didn't know he was let out because of COVID.
Yeah, I know that he
had COVID as well.
Had like a forced entry and robbery and
when he held
the gun to the girl,
pregnant lady in the middle of the night. Yeah, he told the lady he was with the Port Water Authority and she was having an emergency with her pipes, and she wouldn't let him in, so he kicked the door in with two of his friends.
Weird.
That was like our first conversation, Survival, when I was like, look, George Floyd didn't deserve to die, but George Floyd was no fucking angel. He was no fucking gentle. Like when they had look, I feel for her sister. I've lost loved ones too. I know what it's like, but her sister was out speaking one day, like, he's as gentle as a teddy bear. He wouldn't hurt anybody. Yeah, what about that lady that he did that to?
Yeah.
That black lady that he did that to, keep in mind.
Well, then there's that. Yeah. That's fucked.
That's the double standard of like.
Well, I saw an interesting tweet from a black guy. I forgot what his name was, but he tweeted out. He's like, if anybody asks you what's wrong with the black community, you tell them that the black community idolizes
criminals.
George Floyd more than they idolize Ben Carson, and it's like, well, you kind of got a point there because they think Ben is like some nerd or something. But George was cool.
My idols growing up, man, were
Michael
Rice,
Jordan, Ken Griffey Jr.
Jerry Rice, Ken Griffey Jr. was on mine. Devin Hester when he played for Chicago. Bo Jackson, obviously, I'm a Raiders fan. So.
Yeah, but we didn't even think twice about it. These guys were just, they're awesome athletes. They're fun to watch. It was just, that's just the way it was. It wasn't a skin color
pretty
thing.
much every one of my idols that if I rattle them off to you, Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, they're all black dudes.
Yeah, but it's not because they're black or nothing. It's just because that's
no, it's because they meant something to me growing up.
Dude, and I like Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre and shit. Like, I mean, I was just like stupid white country kid, but
I like Dr. Dre, but after Snoop Dogg's commentary on the Jake Paul fight, I can't fuck with Snoop Dogg anymore.
Well, I don't fuck with any of them anymore. I don't even know what he said about it, but that was like my teenage years.
Just out of his mind. Yeah, I mean, I just when they say like George Floyd
Mr.
was a
T. Everybody loved Mr. T too. Bill says. I remember that. That was a little bit before my time. It was a
little bit before my time, but I remember watching, when Rocky came out, Rocky 3 came out on DVD, watching it with my dad.
Fuck, we probably watched that on VHS.
Yeah, it was probably VHS. That and Rocky 4.
Good old days.
Yeah, man.
Where it wasn't a woke movement.
Yeah, I was just about to say before everything was fucked up and everything is politically correct or politically incorrect.
Yeah. Marxists fucked it all up.
And by the way, Kamala Harris has still not been to the border. Just throwing that out there.
Dude, she's
Look, there's things that I don't agree with what Trump did, but like they fucking got on Trump. They're like, he's putting kids in cages. They're putting kids in cages stacked on each other.
They've got like how many? I don't know how many more times than Trump had, and it's the craziest thing, man. Like the entire left they just went crazy about the kids on cages. And AOC went down there and did a stupid photo op of her crying outside the gates, and then Kamala Harris, while she was running for office, she promised that she would get the kids out of the cages. It was like a big whole promise on her campaign trail. She hasn't been there, and there are just more kids than ever.
Yeah.
So it's just a bunch of nonsense.
Well, the percentage, it's over 950% past capacity.
Yeah.
The governor just now of New York said, okay, restaurants could be 75%. So restaurants in New York still can't be 100%, but you could come down to the border and be almost 1,000% over capacity and not getting tested for COVID.
Yeah.
And not social distancing. Because that's how we treat our American citizen survival. Like shit.
Sucks.
It does suck. Sucks a lot, man. This shit shouldn't be happening. She was crying to an empty parking lot.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, Bill knows. She was there by the chain link fence, and they were conveniently had the camera positioned where she was like not even near the facility. She was in a parking lot, man, with a red lipstick and her all white clothes. And then they're like, look at how much she cares for these innocent children. And it was so freaking dumb, dude. And where are they now? They're like, they'll come up with excuses now, like, well, we have to do this, or they just will. I think Biden said media can't even go there. They're not allowed in. They only let one person in.
The media is not allowed there.
Yeah, I don't think Trump did
that. They said, to their defense, they said, oh, we were dealing with COVID and the vaccine. Okay, COVID is really getting controlled now. There's going to be more vaccines available and less demand. Now you guys can fucking start focusing on other problems. New York has less than a 2% positivity rate. We were the hardest hit state in the world, and again, we're in a good spot. So now we need to start focusing on what the fuck are we gonna do about police?
What's up, Angie? Angie's in the house. How you doing?
What's up, Ange? I mean, he's got a lot on his plate, but he's got a lot of people. He's got a lot of people that could help him. That's why he put Kamala Harris in charge of the border. She's got to focus on that. Other people got to focus on this, that, and the third.
Yeah. I hear you. All right, Bill's out. Bill's got to run. Yeah, good to meet you, Bill. We'll see you around. I'm not going to be on here too much longer either. I've got a meeting in like 7 minutes from now.
All right, do your thing, man. I'll see you later tonight. All right. Yeah,
I'm thinking that I might. It depends. I might not even go live. I'm kind of waiting on seeing if Fetty wants to come on with me. If he doesn't want to come on, I'm not going to do it.
Okay.
But, I got a bunch of stuff going on, but yeah, you'll see if I'm on, you'll see me.
All right, man.
So I'm gonna
have a good meeting, bro.
Yeah, man. We'll see you guys. See you later.
Right. What's up, Hicks? What are you doing, Hicks? 2-0 Mets. Me and Courtney are very happy right now. My allergies are fucking killing me tonight, Hicks. I don't know why. 2-0 Mets. Hicks, if you want to come up here, you can come up here. I got to ask you about the 2 shootings today. Or yesterday, rather. One this morning and one yesterday. I think it was. You said you wanted to come up here again. I don't know if you're still at work or not, Hicks. If you're still at work, I understand. Yeah, Bill, Angie comes in here every once in a while. When she wants to support me. My allergies are really bugging me and everything, so I'll probably end in like 15, 20 minutes. Tonight's going to be a shorter night than yesterday, that's for sure. About to leave work. All right, I'll stay on a little bit longer. Let me know when you get home, Ange. Let's see if we have any other facts regarding the shooting. Oh, God, here's fucking Spike Lee. Justice Department launches probe of Minneapolis police after Chauvin convicted of all counts in Floyd death. Yeah, like I said, I agree with that probe. I think it's a good move for Minneapolis. It seems like they need a clean house.
Let's not stop there. And it's a lot of the great things this country has done has been
DOJ investigating policing practices in Minneapolis. Not a bad idea. I think that's a good move on them.
George Floyd Act, that the president, vice president talked about last night. So
I can't stand Spike Lee because I'm convinced he hates white people. I'm sorry for saying that, but it's just how I feel about my fellow New Yorker, Spike Lee. Lawmakers push for passage of police reform bill. I'm okay with the reform bill. I think that's a good move as well. I also think you should have more police officers, police areas that they live in. So say I live in Babylon, New York, I should be policing Babylon, New York, because I know it like the back of my hand, Hello, good morning, watching from Hong Kong. Shout out to Hong Kong. Senator Cory Booker, Democrat of New Jersey, is talking right now on MSNBC.
The question is, will it be enough so that we can say it's real?
Anderson Cooper still talking to Spike Lee. Let's see what Tucker Carlson has to say. I'm sure he's got some crazy shit to say. AOC delivers rambling, incoherent climate rant. Yeah. She's not very smart, but she is very pretty. Here we go.
It's a crisis born of injustice, and it is a crisis born of the pursuit of profit at any and all human and ecological cost. Which means,
what is she saying?
That we must recognize in legislation that the trampling of indigenous rights is a cause of climate change.
The trampling of indigenous rights is climate change?
Because we are allowing people and we are allowing ourselves to make sure, we are allowing folks to deny ourselves human rights and deny people the right to health care, the right to housing and education.
What does that have to do with climate change?
So obviously, the worst thing we ever did in this country was give bachelor's degrees to dumb people, especially dumb aggressive people. That's what you get.
I actually agree with Tucker Carlson on that. That was a fucking... What the fuck is wrong with AOC? She got to get off the drugs. I don't know if she's on drugs or not. I shouldn't say that.
I'm not great at textual analysis. What do you think this means?
Yeah, everything is infrastructure. Infrastructure is climate change. Climate change is racism. Racism is everything. You said, I think it was about something Ibram X. Kendi had been saying, that you rolled your eyes. Your reaction to this is to roll your eyes. My reaction...
Too bad. She's a good-looking chick. She's dumber than a box of fucking dildos, though.
Every night on this channel for these kinds of stories. But the fact is that nobody who matters rolls their eyes at AOC. They all take her seriously. Nobody laughs.
I don't take AOC seriously.
Like Chuck Schumer, who isn't an idiot. He may be depraved in certain political sense, but he's not an idiot. And he knows... And
nice outfit, AOC. Green New Deal. Yes, Green New Deal. I'm not opposed to the Green New Deal if it creates jobs and revenue and whatnot.
The transatlantic slave trade reached its height during the Little Ice Age, which was also when the French and Indian Wars occurred. So there appears to be no correlation at all between racism and climate change, between indigenous rights. And then I thought, what the hell am I doing? This is rubbish. This is supposed to be science. I've been in a 10-year lawsuit in Washington, D.C. up against the guy who invented the climate change hockey stick. And he's a scientist, and his position is that in the last millennium, nothing happened for 9 centuries, and then you, Tucker, got into your SUV and fried the planet. And that's a completely idiotic theory, but at least he's not trying to sell the world on the idea that somehow climate change correlates to racism.
Climate change correlates to racism, says AOC. That I obviously do not agree with at all.
We need to hire some pilots who recognize the racial injustice in
63,288 cases of COVID today. Fucking Christ. All right, let's see. what my Mets are doing.
Racism, and racism is climate change.
Hope everybody also had a good day today.
They're destroying any incentive for anyone to engage in reason or measured debate.
Mets, 2-0 Mets. Hey Travis Ronald, you crack me up because I don't think dildo is that dumb. I tend to think they're wonderful. Nita May, do you want to come up here and say hi? You want to come on tonight, Nita May? I think AOC. I think she's book smart. I don't think she's very street smart, and I don't think she speaks well. Good looking girl. I'm sure she studied very hard in college, but she says shit sometimes when I'm just like, oh my God, shut the fuck up, lady. You know? How are you feeling since your vaccine, Nita May? You all good now? I saw like on the list of states throughout America that are like leading the way in getting vaccines. Alabama's at the very bottom of the list in getting vaccinated. So I was surprised when I heard you said you were able to get it, the vaccine. I have a cousin who refuses to get the vaccine, and he had COVID. The end of December, he had COVID. Actually, no, not the December. The end of November, he had COVID. And he won't get the vaccine. I try not to force people, you know. They don't want to get the vaccine, don't get it. I have bad asthma, so I was a candidate for it, and I said, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get the vaccine.
Transactions, one of the most remarkable things ever. Davies chops one on the ground, McNeil comes in to play it, and so Peterson has faced the minimum over the first 3 innings.
I'm sure you don't look horrible, Nita May. I feel better than ever. I think it helped me. Yeah, I think it helped me too. It's also, you know, I'm almost at that point where I have. Hold on. More body camera video released tied to fatal police shooting. A black teen who appears to be lunging at others with a knife. Yeah, she is. She's lunging at other black people with a knife, so she got shot.
Officer Reardon, who police identified as firing the fatal shots, has been a member of the Columbus Police Department since 2019. Police say he's unpaid administrative.
The cop that shot the girl, though, has only been a cop for like 2.5 years.
The killing was a failure of the community.
The fact that we had a 16-year-old girl armed and involved with physical violence with other folks in that community, that's something for us to look in the mirror and to say, what are
yeah, Nita May, I'm glad I got the vaccine.
The shooting happened about 30 minutes before the guilty verdict was delivered for the murder of George Floyd, at a time when police use of force around the nation. And
I think I made the best choice for me and my body. You know what I mean? The symptoms the next day were horrible, though, but, you know, I got through it. Yeah, yeah. I heard that. I heard that, Nita May.
No, we've reached out to CNN, has reached out to Officer Reardon and the police union. We haven't heard back so far, but there's one thing I want to stress, and that is that both the mayor and the interim police chief were really emphasizing transparency today. We know that the police department worked swiftly to get that first initial
more body camera video. Look, it's tragic that girl shot, but I think it was completely warranted. She's lunging at other people with a knife, so she got shot.
Important last night because there were videos taken by bystanders that were already circulating on social media causing outrage.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. We're going to get perspective now from Charles Ramsey, who's led police departments in Washington, Philadelphia.
Yeah, I know you meant I know what you meant, Nita May. You meant strong-willed. We have strong-willed people here in New York as well.
Well, first of all, let me start by saying that any loss of life is tragic. There's absolutely no question about this, and this case is no different. But when I look at it from the viewpoint of whether or not the actions of the officer who is responding to a scene of a fight. He sees one young lady push another one down. Can't really tell if she pushed her or cut her or what have you. But then she goes immediately after the young lady in the pink. She has a knife in her hand. She actually raises
Comply and don't die. Yeah, I agree with that. Leslie Rothwell. I agree with that, Nita May. 100%.
Drew his weapon and he fired. In my opinion, that was a reasonable use of force.
I think it was a reasonable use of force as well. I think the cop did what he had to do to save another person's life.
Or another non-legal tactic. Can you kind of walk us through, the split-second thinking again? Because this all happens from the moment he gets out of the vehicle. I mean, this thing just escalates immediately.
Well, first of all, a taser is a great weapon. There's no question about that. But when you've got a situation where someone is being immediately threatened with death or great bodily harm, then, would you go to the taser or would you really try to stop the threat to save the life of the individual being threatened? I mean,
Trust me, I know. New Yorkers don't play. Yeah, we don't need him, eh? I think this cop in Columbus, Ohio did the right thing. I think he had a quick decision to make. Plus, his distance where he is, he's farther back, so his taser might not have caught the girl.
Otherwise, you can't get the electricity will not discharge into the body, which is what actually.
Yeah, from where he is, it doesn't look like his taser could potentially reach that well. He's got quite a bit of distance between him and the girl with the knife.
He took a chance by firing a shot in that he's so close to the lady in pink there, but he had no other alternative in my mind other than to take some action because of what was going on. The young lady who was shot is clearly the aggressor in this case. There's no question about that.
Something like a taser can. It looked like the person who was shot was wearing a sweatshirt, a black sweatshirt. Can that go through a sweatshirt?
That could have been a problem. It may or may not. It depends. I know in the wintertime it can be less effective than in the summertime because it's got to actually strike the skin.
Yeah, she had a sweatshirt on too, so the taser might have been able to grab skin. Plus, it happened so fast.
You've got one young lady who's being pushed to the ground at the time. You probably didn't know whether or not she was stabbed or pushed. The young lady who was shot has a knife in her hand, clearly visible. And this is not a small pocket knife. She pushes the other girl against the car. She actually puts herself in a defensive position, assuming she's going to get stabbed, and that's when the officer fired. It was when the offender reared back.
What are you under? What do you mean?
Come in a downward motion.
Oh, you're talking to Leslie. Look me up on YouTube. I'm under my name. Yeah, the Google mods have been deleting people's links in my chat. I don't know why, Anita May. That happens sometimes.
It doesn't mean that it's criminal or that it's inappropriate.
It is interesting because, again, it just, to me, on so many of these videos, or, well, I shouldn't speak broadly like that, but this video, it's just from the time he gets out of the vehicle to the time the altercation is right in front of him. Had he paused and not acted, as you said,
Anderson Cooper is talking to a former chief of police. He's saying, had he not acted that fast, someone could have been stabbed to death.
It's a no-win.
It's a no-win situation.
Then we'd be having a conversation. So why did he act? How did he allow this one person to stab and kill the other? And so it's a no-win situation. It really is.
That's what I was telling the survivor. It's a no-win situation with that cop. If he did something, he's a bad guy. If he didn't do anything, he's the blame. So it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't case. Travis, I'm so glad I found you. You're an awesome young man and never let Leslie, You could come up here and say hi. Here's the link. Just click the link. You're one of the only people I haven't come on and show their face. So why don't you come on for like a couple minutes? Like, come on for like a minute or two. Say hi, so people can know who you are. Yeah, yeah. I agree, Nita.
If we're not conserving, then maybe we need to think in different terms. Terms like what we need is to think of revolutionaries, or maybe you look at it in a different way, counter-revolutionary,
That's right.
To bring back the stuff that's lost.
You just have to. I think you have to turn your mic or your cam on, Nita May.
Not so much in the laws and institutions.
Like on your device, you have to let. Your guests will need to connect their mic cam before you add them to the stream. Connect your mic cam, Nita May. It might ask you, like, do you allow blah, 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 StreamYards to use your mic or your camera for this? I think you just have to click yes, because I can't get you up here until you connect your mic or cam on the device that you're on.
It's hate speech, right? Isn't it hate speech?
Well, it's a massive and glaring threat, of course, to the rent seekers now running everything.
Right.
Declaration of Independence as hate speech. Barely an overstatement. The full conversation with Glenn Elmer on Tucker Carlson today. You can find it on FoxNation.com Monday, Wednesday, and Friday today.
I've never seen that notification before. Once you click the link that I posted here, it should say, like, do you allow StreamYards or YouTube or whatever to connect to your mic or your camera, and then you just click yes for both, I think. I think that's what you have to do. 2-0 Mets still.
On the right side against McNeil. Not blessed with great speed at second. And Jeff tries to lay off the change.
Come on, McNeil. Fuck. Your guest will need to connect their mic cam before you could add them to the stream. Yeah, I don't know why I can't add you to the stream, Nita May. It's not letting me. It says your devices aren't connected, Nita May. I'm not sure.
McNeil flies one in the shallow center. Back goes Baez to call. And that retires the side. It had one left. A little report. That's two. Geico made it so easy to bundle home and auto insurance.
That's weird, Nita May. I don't know why it's not letting me add you to the stream.
Current eligible non-GM lessees get this low-mileage lease on this 2021 Cadillac XT6 for only $459 per month. Visit your local Cadillac dealer today.
Well, Congress tries to work out a police reform bill that can get 60 votes in the Senate. GOP legislators appear to be focused more on the sideline of Black Lives Matter protesters. New York Times reports one study that says Republicans.
Fry, you want a pretzel, honey?
81 anti-protest bills in the wake of the protests and twice the normal level. According to the Congress, legislators in Oklahoma and Iowa passed bills granting immunity to some drivers who strike and injure protesters in public
Okay,
streets.
come on.
Voters governor signed into law anti-protest.
You're all done, buddy. Come on.
Turned some misdemeanors into felonies. His action plus rhetoric
Representative May calls Black Lives Matter the strongest terrorist threat in our country. Ooh.
Kyle, what are you listening to?
Margie Taylor Greene calls Black Lives Matter the strongest terrorist threat in our country.
Come on, I have to go to the bathroom.
Anderson, thanks for having me this evening.
Wanna have a
spent
pretzel
time
with me?
over the years that I've been dealing with
Want
police
to have a
reform,
pretzel?
just looking at the long roll call list of Black Americans, men and women who've suffered violence at the hands of police officers. Frankly, these legislatures are engaging in distraction and smoke and mirrors. And really, it is tragic when life and lives have been lost. We have been engaged in trying to stop.
While police reforms languish in Congress, some states to make protesting harder and more dangerous. While police reforms languish in Congress, some states to make protesting harder and more dangerous. We could end on that note. I got some friends that are going to be going live soon, so I'm going to end my stream for now. There's nobody even here now. So I'll see you all at my normal time tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern.